So I get emails all the time that go like this. Hi Kate, I've been following you for a while. I've watched quite a few of your videos, but I'm not really looking to quit drinking completely. I'd like to just be able to cut down and control my drinking. I still want to be able to have a few glasses of wine a week or on special occasions. All that total sobriety stuff that you talk about, it's not really for me. But hey, if you ever do a class on how to moderate, I'm all in. I often joke with people that I think I would be way more popular if I ran a class on how to stop after 1 or 2 drinks, or perhaps if I rebranded as the moderation school rather than the sober school. People would probably like me a lot more. But I couldn't do that with a clear conscience, because the truth is that there is no secret to controlling an addictive, mind-altering drug. It's a bit like asking me for tips on how to be a responsible smoker or how to control your smoking. It's the wrong question to be asking, really. But I do understand where people are coming from when they think that, when they think, I don't want to quit drinking completely, because I remember having that same thought. And when you think about total sobriety, the automatic thought that comes up around that is, wow, it's going to feel really restrictive. Complete sobriety will be too much, too depriving, too limiting. And it feels as if moderation offers more freedom. It feels as if moderation offers you the best of both worlds and the freedom to do what you want and have your cake and eat it, so to speak. I want to offer you a different way of looking at this. And the best way I can think to describe it is to picture an aquarium or a fishbowl that you're inside of. But that aquarium, that fishbowl, is under the sea. So even though you're in the fishbowl, because you can see through the glass and see the rest of the ocean, you don't recognize that you're limited by the glass bowl around you. You think you've got the run of the whole ocean. Intellectually, if you're in that situation, you wouldn't even see the limitations that are there because they're see-through. So what does this fishbowl have to do with drinking? Well, I think that moderation puts you inside that fishbowl. But because your fishbowl is in the sea and you can't see the sides of it, you think you've got the freedom that you crave. You think that moderation is the perfect solution. You think, well, this way I can drink if I want to. I can do what I want. I've got that freedom. But you haven't really, because you're in the fishbowl. When you are trying to moderate, you are bumping up against the sides of the fishbowl all the time. You are limited as to how you live your life because you are still giving alcohol a lot of power. You think you've got the freedom of the ocean, but you haven't. You are restricted. So did you hear what I just said there? Moderation is restriction. Not sobriety, moderation. Because here's the thing. When you say, I want to be able to have a few drinks on a special occasion, what you're really saying is, actually, for me to have a complete experience where I feel fulfilled and satisfied, I need to be able to have a few drinks. So that means you haven't got the freedom to do your own thing, because you are going to need to make sure that at some point you get your dose of alcohol so you have that special and fulfilling time. That is restriction, because can you imagine what's going to happen if you don't get your alcohol fix? Or what if you don't get enough? If you want to be able to drink on special occasions, then the reality is that you will also want to drink at parties and on date night and at the weekend and on holiday and on Fridays and after a bad day and after a good day and when your friends pop round and when it's sunny and all the other reasons that make you want to drink right now. When you are outsourcing your fulfillment and your happiness and your satisfaction onto something else, that in itself is restricting. It limits you because whether you realize it or not, your world starts to revolve around getting the alcohol. So you become frustrated when you go out and you suddenly have to drive because that means you can't have your alcohol. Or maybe you don't bother going to that amazing restaurant that does great food but doesn't serve booze because you won't be able to get your fix there. Trying to moderate is 100% restriction masquerading as freedom. And my question for you is, if you've been on the moderation treadmill for a while and it isn't making you feel great, would you be open to trying something different? Would you consider life outside the fishbowl? Because there is a whole ocean out there to explore, and that is what sobriety gives you. When you take the alcohol away, you get out of the alcohol trap, you're given incredible freedom. I mean, just imagine driving home from work and knowing that you don't need to worry about whether or not you have enough wine in the fridge because you've figured out another way to relax and decompress all on your own. Or imagine knowing that you can go on date night and have a great time and it doesn't matter what liquid is in your glass. Or imagine going on holiday and relaxing and having fun and trying new things and seeing new places because you're clear-headed and hangover-free and in the moment. You're not thinking about whether it's actually too early to have a drink or whether that blooming wine waiter's going to come back and top your glass up because you actually really need that to happen in order to calm down and feel content again. Imagine being free of all that. Imagine learning how to get happiness and fulfillment another way. That is true freedom. So, next time your automatic thinking kicks in and you start wishing that, oh, you could just have one or two, I want you to think about this fishbowl, the moderation fishbowl, and the great big ocean that you could be playing in instead. You can spend your time trying to jazz up the inside of the fishbowl if you like. Maybe add some pebbles and those swim through houses. You can create some new rules around your drinking and find something that might lessen the pain of the hangovers. Or you can start exploring the rest of the ocean and the freedom and power that being alcohol-free gives you. When you do sobriety properly, that is what it should feel like. It should feel like freedom, empowerment, ease. But it all starts with you being willing to put moderation on the shelf for a moment and try something else. And try taking a break from drinking for a couple of months and then see what happens then. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be talking about how to do that properly and really nail a fantastic break from booze. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. But for now, please scroll down and let me know in the comments how you're feeling about this, whether this analogy has hit home with you, and I hope you have a great week.